Hello, Rhonda Greenbury, certified aromatherapist. I am the creator and owner of 5 Seconds to Healthy. I run a primarily online business helping people establish their healthiest selves using nature's tools, mostly essential oils, but I also dip in a little bit in holistic nutrition as I'm studying that as well. And I am diving into aromatic medicine as a student at the moment. So I am on today because I would like to discuss why you need to grow your essential oil kit. So if you took an essential oils one-on-one class with me, you know that how to use the top 10 oils, or probably the 8 to 10 that came in your initial kit. That's awesome. Some of the things I go over in the class are some of the blends, like On Guard is amazing for the flu. Sometimes we cover some of the oils that are great for sleeping. We use some of the oils that are great to help us with pain management, such as Deep Blue. However, there's a reason why it's important to diversify your essential oils. So I'm going to explain this a little bit to you, and then I'm going to give you very specific examples, okay? So the first thing I want you to consider is that based on the science of just about everything that we expose our bodies to, when we overuse anything, we can create what is known as a sensitization, okay? So what that means is that if I am using, let's say, lavender topically every day for my facial care to help keep my skin fresh, or let's say frankincense to keep me looking young, because we all know that the king of oils is also creates a youth in our reflection, so we have amazing skin. That can have the effect of our body getting used to it and eventually developing a sensitization. And a sensitization presents itself similar to an allergy. So we have almost the exact same immune response, but everybody's allergy response tends to be a little bit different. So for some people, they break out in rashes, sometimes not even in the location that they are using the essential oil, but they just start to develop rashes, okay? Sometimes they develop like the obvious seasonal allergy reactions, so the runny eyes, the sneezing, all those things that we tend to equate to spring when pollen's in the air. That can happen from overusing our essential oils. Sometimes when we have these reactions, we start using more oils to address the problem. The problem is that if you've already exposed yourself too much to an essential oil, you need to stop using it. And you need to stop using it for enough time for your body to calm down, take a break, and then reintroduce the oils one at a time. So if it was actually a blend that created this reaction, then you're going to need to go back and introduce each oil within the blend on its own. Okay, so that can be hard sometimes, because if you were reacting to, let's say, the On Guard blend, it might not be the On Guard blend as a whole that is a problem, but one of the oils in it. So you want to be able to pinpoint which oil is causing the problem for you. And it's funny because when you use the blend, it's not always going to be that the sensitization is to all 5 of the oils or 8 of the oils that are found in the blends, right? So it's really important to diversify the oils that we're using. So I actually suggest that you change up the oils that you're using at least monthly, which means that if you're new to my oil community, the next month you should be ordering a new set of oils. Now, I understand that ordering 10 can be hard for some people and we're on budgets, so I tend to recommend things like ordering eucalyptus. It's one of the top fighting oils. If you don't already have lavender, get some lavender. Tea tree is a great another oil. If you need help with sleep and stuff, Serenity is an awesome oil. And then we dive further into like what are the issues that you're trying to address. And I can give you some pointers on what are the best oils to do that. If you continue to keep sensitizing yourself, let's say you're diffusing On Guard every day, or you're diffusing the Serenity blend and then all of a sudden you can't sleep anymore, or you start to get sick, or you feel like you're getting sinus infections constantly now, or you're being exposed to that cold or that flu and now you're catching it constantly instead of these oils helping you, it's probably because you've either become sensitized or they stopped working in your body. And that's the second point that I was going to make, is when we overuse the oils, they can just stop working. So aside from having what feels like an allergic reaction or a sensitization that could develop into an actual allergy, they can actually stop working for our body. Much like we could eat the same food for our whole lives and then all of a sudden one day we develop an allergy to a food that we've eaten our whole lives. It's probably because we overate it. We needed to provide variety within our body. So we know this about food, and the same thing applies to almost everything. It applies to all the topical products that we use. It applies to essential oils. So it's something to consider outside of even your essential oil usage. Change things up and change them up regularly. I say every 1 to 3 months, do something different, do something new, okay? So here's some specific examples to kind of help you along the way, okay? So if you're using the On Guard, the protective blend for things like colds and flus to help boost your immune system, to disinfect the air, most essential oils will do that, okay? So you can supplement things that have any of the citrus oils will help do that. You can also do some eucalyptus and lavender are two of my favorites when there's illnesses present in the house. If you're just trying to cleanse and protect the air, then I would stick to oils like the Holiday Joy that typically comes out around Christmas time. It's a good one to have all year round. Even though it smells a little bit more like a Christmas blend, it's still nice to alternate between the On Guard and the Holiday Joy. So I always recommend that everybody get a little bit of the Holiday Joy to kind of add that blend in there. You can also use, so let's say you're dealing with pain, okay? A lot of people really like to use the Deep Blue. Well, Deep Blue is an awesome oil for pain management, but if we overuse it, it stops working and we're back in pain. So I suggest switching it up every now and then. So you can use some frankincense, for example. If you're fortunate enough to go to Utah every year in September and order a convention kit, then you can use some birch with the right health considerations. So there are health risks with all oils that have to be considered. So if you have any health conditions or medications, it's always good to reach out to me to double check that you're using oils safely, okay? But you can use birch or you can use wintergreen. If you don't have access to birch because you weren't fortunate enough to make it to convention, then I suggest that you try wintergreen. You can also use things simply like peppermint on its own. Some really amazing pain oils also were any of the firs, copaiba. What else we have? Marjoram. Marjoram is amazing for pain relief almost instantly, okay? Then when we look at oils like for sleep, right? Serenity is a great blend. It does help people with their sleep, but you can look at things just the plain lavender, but there are tons of oils for sleep. So spikenard is like the oil that will knock you out. It doesn't smell that pleasant, so I strongly recommend that you stick it in a blend and you only use it 1 drop at a time, but it's super effective. Vetiver is really calming. It can help with anxiety. It can assist with sleep, right? Most of the citrus oils will actually help you sleep because they calm you down, and you'll have a good sleep because they're uplifting. Cedar wood is great for sleep. Sandalwood, both the sandalwoods, Hawaiian and the regular sandalwood, excellent oils for sleep. So as you can see, like there's a variety of things, but these oils aren't specific to what I'm naming it as. We have to think of things like marjoram can be used for sexual dysfunctions. It can be used for PMS. It can be used for problems with your menstrual flow. It can be used for aches and pains and cramps. It can be used for men's overzealous sexual drive. Like there are so many things. There are not just one thing. Marjoram can be used for colic and constipation. So when we look at the oils, let's try to remember that even when we buy an oil with the intent of, let's say, creating a new blend for sleep, and then we find that it didn't help our sleep because our individual biochemistry was different, that's okay. There's still probably about 15 to 100 different uses for that exact same oil. So I'm going to suggest that you buy every oil that you can get your hands on, that you learn how to use them all, and that you continue to use a diverse set of oils on a regular basis. Switch it up every 1 to 3 months at least, okay? I don't use any one single blend for sleep every night, ever. In fact, I change what I'm using for my sleep blend almost every single night, and it tends to be based a little bit on, let's say, my hormones. So sometimes I pick sleep blends that contain like clary sage, sandalwood, and vetiver because I'm having, hormonal fluxes as a woman does. Sometimes I pick things that I want to help with nightmares, right? I'm having a hard time in life. My anxiety is acting up. So I'll pick things like juniper berry, and I'll put in some cedar wood with that. Sometimes I use lavender, sometimes I don't. Petitgreen will help me sleep. Like bergamot is super relaxing. So, I mean, there's tons out there. Just connect with me if you're not sure, but honestly, grow your oil kit and grow it because it's the best thing for you. And it's actually much cheaper to use oils to address or prevent things than it is to go and buy the pharmaceutical alternative in most cases. So consider that. Consider what you're spending on, I don't know what they are, the Cold FX or that bottle of aspirin or whatever, right? Consider what that costs. If you're not sure what that costs, ask me. I have a comparison that you can take a look at that does the cost per drop, because sometimes all you need is 1 drop or less. If you've created, let's say, a blend in a roller bottle, sometimes those blends can cost you literally $1 to $2 to treat an entire cold cycle, where the alternative might cost you $30, okay? So those are some of the things to consider. Another thing to consider is when there are sales, there's opportunities to get free oils, there are BOGO events, etc. Jump on those, okay? Even if you're not 100% sure how to use that specific oil, get in there and get some of those oils. Accumulate, create your toolkit, create your nature's medicine cabinet, if you will, because there is a use for it. You will find a use for it. It is very rare that somebody doesn't use all of the oils at some point in their journey. It's just a little bit of a introduction and getting to know it. And since most of these sales only occur every couple months, that gives you enough time to learn how to use those new 5 to 10 oils that you may have accumulated during the sales seasons, okay? So if you have any questions or comments, let me know. But I'm strongly encouraging you to get out there and diversify that essential oil kit and connect with me if you don't know what to use. I can give you a great book. I can give you some advice. We can look into the medical stuff, okay? But do it. All right, if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Talk to you later. Bye.